those guys, you know, like I mentioned before, they're very talented, and now every day, every practice, they're becoming better in their assignments, becoming in their techniques. But you can always see the ability, which that's something you can't coach. You know, so you can see the ability, you can see the burst, you can see the physicality, you can see the change of direction, some of the cover skills. Now their technique and their assignment isn't there yet, but it's getting better every day.
When Mark calls Darius West sudden, what does he mean?
That's the same thing when I say twitch, sudden. What that means is when a player changes direction, or a player goes forward, or a player goes backwards, those quick, short movements are very sudden. They're fast. Quick, short movements. Boom, 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 boom. They're very sudden. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So if you're not
twitch is.
That's what twitch is. Twitch, sudden. All that. Okay?
Is that one of those things you just see immediately as a coach? You recognize it, that it's, you know, that's a
You know,
an
probably how you
unteachable thing,
recognize
and
when there's not a comma in a sentence or something. I don't recognize the comma should be there. You know what I mean? But you recognize the comma should be there. You know, it's it is. And you know what? You're right. Sometimes, I guess in any profession, you start talking in a language assuming everybody understands what you're saying when they really don't. And yeah, that's something that's something you evaluate. It's one of your checklists on evaluating. Is twitch and suddenness.
how high up on that checklist is
It's depending on the position. So different things within different positions way higher, and within a DB it's really high. You know what I mean? One of the highest. You know, so you always have your measurements. So I want him to be this tall, and I want him to be this fast. Okay. And then what about his athleticism? Right? Well, he's got good change of direction. He's got good twitch. He's got good suddenness. He's got good bend. So it's really high for a DB.
Mark said that Ryan Flanagan's going to be out a couple of days. What about the young guys at that position behind him? How are they responding? Maybe some increased reps now. What do you see?
I've been impressed with Jordan Jones. I've been impressed with the progress of Nico Furious. Okay, so there's two freshmen. One's a true freshman. One's a redshirt freshman linebacker. And I've been impressed with their progress and their ability and their playmaking too.
Is Jordan big enough to play that position right now?
He is. Jordan, I think, is about the same size as Ryan. I think they're the same size. They're both around 225, so they're about the same size. He's taller. I think Jordan may be taller.
What was life like for Josh Forrest last year? As he tried to learn that position, I mean, was it difficult for him?
It was, and he had a lot of growing pains, and he was thrown to the fire, so to say. You know, he wasn't, you know, hey, we're going to give you 20 reps, you know, and then you learn from those 20 reps what you did right and wrong. It was like, no, you're going to play 70 reps, okay? So that can be tough because he was thrown to the fire, but it's helped him tremendously this year because he's been in a lot of game experiences, and he's had a lot of reps, and he's made some good plays, he's made some bad plays, and he's built off his good plays, and he's learned from his bad plays.
When you guys went to LSU last year, Ryan didn't play that game. He had a lot of family there. What kind of difference did you notice in him from that game to now?
I think Ryan, in general, the second half of the season, the first half of the season, I think he progressed a lot. And the reason I think is that he didn't get here, unlike most of our signees, he didn't come in the summer. You know, he was still in summer school finishing up his junior college degree. And so it took him a little bit longer to learn the system. So I think it was more first half of the season, second half of the season, where he really started to grow in the second half of the season.
Give us the names of the toughest, but you said that a couple from the other side of the ball.
You know, Garrett Johnson's tough. Jeff Badette can be tough to cover. But I think that overall we have a lot harder guys to cover than we've had in the past. You know, so it's good and bad.
How's your D-line embrace the physicality now they've got the pads on?
Guys like Melvin Lewis have stepped up at D-line and become a leader. He got played real solid today. I mean, he's a load inside, you know, and he's athletic too, and plays with tenacity and technique. And you know, I've seen some good things from Reggie Mint and Farrington. Those guys play. They're on edge every day, and they're playing, you know, as good as they can every single day. And people are watching them. They're leading by example. People are watching them.
How much farther along is Matt Elam, both mentally and physically, now than he was a year ago in fall camp?
I think, you know, Matt is a lot further along, and last year he was a freshman. You know what I mean? He was a freshman, and you know, it's hard for a freshman to come in and learn a system and play. And so now he's had a whole off season under his belt. He's going through his second training camp. He's grown. He's matured. Okay. He's a guy that I expect to play a lot better this year than he did last year.
Is there something right now that you feel like he does at an elite level? Obviously,
Yeah, Matt can really, he does a really good job on pass plays, pushing the pocket, you know. Defensive linemen are very valuable. Some of the most valuable players on your team, but they may not make a lot of plays, okay? It's not the plays that they make, it's the plays that they take away. They're so important. And on a pass down, to be able to push the pocket and put that offensive lineman in that quarterback's lap and alter his throw because he doesn't have a lane. Okay, that may not be recognized by the common spectator, but it sure is valued by the coaches. You know what I mean? Because it determines wins and losses, and that's one thing that Matt does an excellent job.
Folks, thank you. We got the other assistants and players.
Thanks, TJ.
Thanks, TJ.